In the name of God, the All-Beneficent, the All-Merciful. And when the angels said, O Mary, God has chosen you and purified you, and He has chosen you above the world's women. O Mary, be obedient to your Lord, and prostrate and bow down with those who bow in worship. These verses continue the divine selection of Mary's story in Surah Aal-Imran, verses 42 to 43. After the brief references to Mary in the previous verses concerning Imran and his wife, this verse speaks in detail about Mary. The verse tells us that the angels spoke to Mary. When the angels said, O Mary. How great is the honor of a human being speaking with angels, especially when the conversation is a glad tidings from God, as in the case of Mary, daughter of Imran. The angels gave her the good news that God had chosen her among all the women of the world, purified her, and favored her because of her piety, faith, and devotion. The word worlds does not conflict with this meaning. It has been used in the Qur'an and common speech to refer to people living in the same era, as in the case of the children of Israel. And I have favored you over the people of your time. There is no doubt that the favor of the faithful among the children of Israel was over their contemporaries. O Mary, be devout and obedient to your Lord. This verse completes the message of the angels to Mary. After giving her the glad tidings that God had chosen her, they instructed her to thank God through bowing, prostration, and submission in recognition of this great blessing. We notice here that the angels gave Mary 3 commands. First, devout obedience to God, which, as mentioned earlier, signifies submission and continual devotion. Second, prostration, which is a sign of full submission before God. Third, bowing, which also represents humility and submission. The phrase, and bow with those who bow, may refer to participating in congregational prayer or joining the ranks of worshipers bowing before God, meaning bow with the sincere servants of God who bow to Him. In this verse, the reference to prostration comes before the reference to bowing. This does not mean that prostration occurs before bowing in their prayers. Rather, it signifies performing both acts of worship without focusing on their sequence. It is similar to instructing someone to pray, perform ablution, and purify themselves, where the intention is for the person to fulfill all these actions. The conjunction "and" does not imply order. Bowing and prostration primarily signify humility and submission, and their physical movements are simply expressions of that inner attitude. The guardianship of Mary. Verses 44. These accounts are from the unseen, which we reveal to you, and you were not with them when they were casting lots to see which of them would take charge of Mary's care, nor were you with them when they were contending. This verse highlights another aspect of Mary's story, stating that the preceding account of Mary and Zechariah is from the knowledge of the unseen. That is from the tidings of the unseen we reveal to you, because this story, in its accurate form and free from any distortions or myths, is not found in any previous scriptures. Additionally, the chain of this story is divine revelation. The verse continues, "And you were not with them when they cast their pens as to who would be the guardian of Mary, and you were not present when they disputed." This means that you were not present at that time. Rather, the news came to you through revelation. As previously mentioned, Mary's mother, after giving birth to her, wrapped her in a cloth and brought her to the temple. She spoke to the scholars and leaders of the children of Israel, saying, "This child has been dedicated to the service of God's house. let one of you take responsibility for her upbringing. Since Mary belonged to a well-known family, the House of Imran, the scholars competed to gain the honor of her guardianship. They finally agreed to draw lots. They went to the riverbank with their pens and sticks used for casting lots. Each wrote their name on a pen and cast it into the water. Whoever's pen floated would be the winner. The pen with Zechariah's name sank briefly and then returned to float on the surface. Thus, Mary was placed under his guardianship. In reality, he was the most deserving, being a prophet and the husband of Mary's maternal aunt, casting lots as the final solution. From this verse and the verses regarding Jonah in chapter Es-Safat, it is understood that casting lots can be used to resolve disputes that reach a deadlock, where no acceptable solution can be found among the parties. This verse, along with narrations from the Imams of Islam, the 12 Imams, became a basis for considering casting lots a jurisprudential principle discussed in Islamic legal texts. However, the condition for resorting to casting lots is that the situation must be completely at a deadlock. If a solution to a problem can be found through other means, casting lots is not permissive. The next video begins with the announcement of Jesus, son of Mary. A complete and authentic account drawn directly from the Holy Qur'an and illuminated through Tafsir al-Amthal by Ayatollah Makarem Shirazi, along with insights from respected scholars. Presented through the guidance of the Shia Twelver Imams, the 12 Imams conveying the stories of the prophets, without distortion or alteration. If this message resonates with you, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps spread the light of the Qur'an and the truth of faith to hearts around the world.